Ladies and gentlemen, Invest 96L has that look to it. Yeah, that's right. I think it's going to be a hurricane. Now, is it going to be Teddy or is it going to be Sally? I don't know. Hurricane or storm naming conventions can be harder to peg than actual hurricane intensities. But yeah, I think this is going to be a hurricane, man. So, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, you definitely need to be on the lookout for this thing, which will be making landfall in under, I would guess, 75 hours. Now, me saying it will probably be a hurricane isn't some totally made up thing. The HWRF for 96L, very weird run, says JKP Weather. Strengthening to a hurricane before it moves parallel to the coast and weakens to a tropical storm before landfall. Take it with a grain of salt. And so, yeah, I'm not guaranteeing you it's going to be a hurricane, but this is 2020 and it's best to prepare for the worst and pray for the best. Either way, it will probably be a depression or a tropical storm when it makes landfall, and it's going to skirt the whole coast, so it may have a chance to bring some storm surge and heavy rain. And it looks like about 60% of the models have it becoming a Category 1 hurricane in about 100 hours. You see that? And most of them at about 110-hour mark. But it does have a weird path. And it is getting Hurricane Man excited, which is not a good sign, bro. My focus today, Invest 96L, it's getting, quote-unquote, or quotes, open quotes, close quotes, that look to it. And heading into the Gulf, HWRF HMON bring it into my hood as a hurricane in 5 days. Global models have had little skills this year sniffing out small spin-ups, so their takes don't count. Sorry. Getting mild chaser dude tingles. Yeah, dude, it's got the look. We all agree it's got the look. And we are at peak season for hurricanes in this tropical party, and Sally is on deck, and Teddy Tootie will be right behind. All right, so we've got this area, which we're pretty sure is going to develop into a named storm, and this one, which looks to be a danger. Paulette and Renee at the moment are scheduled to go out to sea, and this one as well. Though the good news, a lot of the models have backed off future Sally or Teddy, depending on whatever this one's going to be, going towards Puerto Rico as a major hurricane. But we're definitely going to have to continue to keep watching, because if you watch, here's our Puerto Rico right there. And then the models now have just all of a sudden started taking it with a sharp turn to the north, which I'm all for. That would be great. That would save Puerto Rico a lot of troubles and problems. Their power grid is not exactly the strongest in the universe. And then you can see our 96L over here. Where is she? See, it develops, goes over Florida, and there's not going to be a lot of wind shear, and these Gulf waters are going to be hot. So definitely, this is a clear and present danger over the next 100 hours to Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. And, you know, this is 2020, and technically all a storm needs for rapid intensification is a solid 24 hours. But for now, the turn of Sally/Teddy straight north and possibly out to sea would be great. But though, like I said, Jupiter is going direct today and tomorrow, and so let's see if there's a major shift in the models. At least that's my plan. Cranky weather guy looking at the Atlantic loop. Note the southern push off of Africa as our long tracking disturbances start to make their journey. Hurricanes are on the way, baby. Northeast Islands, the typical fork in the road as per Southwest Atlantic or North Carolina Gulf Ventures. So we will have to keep an eye on the ones that are already in the ocean and the waves that are rolling off of Africa, which Cranky says is like watching paint dry. Our long-tracking hurricane candidates selective reasoning was offered in recent days, and now we're tracking. And so these are our 2 red alert danger ones that we need to watch for possible hurricane development that could threaten North Carolina or the East Coast or Florida and the Gulf of Mexico. and nobody knows where anything is going or what intensity it will be. It's like a riddle that we try and figure out. And so cranky, the first riddle is how well either disturbance pushed along the high. See how 17 and 18 are wayward travelers, but 95L is force west. Then the continental features, troughs, and advancing highs alike, such as with AL17, presently faces, dictates where a system goes. New England Islands Fork. And so, yeah, the big zone we will be watching is pretty much when it gets before here in Puerto Rico. I'm definitely looking out for all y'all and J-Lo and A-Rod. I don't know where they are. I would guess Miami, going back and forth. Must be nice. I'm sure everybody's wearing masks and traveling safely if they do travel. So, yeah, we were watching. This is our little zone of WTF. As far as earthquake activity, of note, we had a 6.3 in Chile over the last 24 hours, and a 4.3 in Alaska, and a 4 in California. And so with all the planets on the same side of the sun, we're definitely looking out for increased earthquake and volcano activity. Weather DAC showing us in Oregon, 5 fires larger than 100,000 acres are simultaneously burning. And so they look like volcanoes, but they say they're just wildfires. And it's definitely a dangerous and deadly situation. One town in Oregon with 500,000 people was evacuated, and that's over 10% of the entire state's population. Weather DAC showing us 2 of the 5 largest wildfires in Colorado history occurred in the last 2 months. We're talking about the Cameron Peak Fire and the Pine Gulf Fire. Earth is smoking just like a dragon, dude. And then 3 of the 4 largest wildfires in California history have occurred in the last month. We're talking about the August Complex, the SCU Complex, and the LNU Complex. Yeah, dude, it is some scary, apocalyptic-looking shiz out there. As Mars has just gone retrograde, and we wait for Jupiter to go direct. And this is all taking us to the big lead-up of Billie Eilish's birthday on the 18th of December, my birthday on the 19th of December, and then the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction on the 21st when they go from Capricorn into Aquarius. And Marshall Ferguson would like to nominate cardboard humans watching baseball in a dystopian hellscape for Photo of the Year. Yeah, 2020 is weird, dude. It's super weird. And Jack Sillen, who's always chilling talking about cool weather stuff, is now talking about security national issues due to a series of apparently massive computer issues behind the scenes. A substantial portion of the NWS NOAA weather data is either delayed or unavailable today for the 3rd day in a row. During peak hurricane season, I'd argue this qualifies as a serious national security issue. It is kind of weird that since 9/11, we really haven't gotten any better at national natural disaster response, whether it be terrorism or whatever. Well, let's do the best we can. I got a feeling the next 6 weeks are going to be extremely, incredibly dangerous. But the clear and present danger at the moment is Invest 96L. And, you know, from this area on, I would watch out. And the more time it spends over open water, the more time it will have to develop. And so this thing will probably make landfall anywhere from 80 to 120 hours from now. I definitely don't want to go into Louisiana, who is still, had major problems, still like 200,000 people without power since Hurricane Laura. And they're having major mosquito issues where, like, the mosquitoes are so bad they're killing giant livestock. Well, regular-sized livestock, I guess. Anyway, it definitely looks like it's trying to get its act together. I think it's going to be a hurricane. At this point, nobody knows. Could be depression, could be just a tropical storm, but it is going to bring some heavy rain and winds to the Gulf Coast. Mike's weather page, watching tropics in real time, Invest 96 over the Bahamas, showing development on the latest HWRF HMON. These models have been solid this year, predicting intensity, something to really watch close. Abundant moisture invading Florida today, and with low shear ahead, anything is possible. Yeah, I mean, it only takes 24 hours to rapidly intensify. So, it could become a Category 2 hurricane, as this one indicates. Category 1 hurricane. Strong Category 1. So I would definitely keep your eye on this if you're on the Gulf from Florida to Louisiana. And the Euro has it do this weird strafe thing where it like strafes over Florida into Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, and then goes up into Louisiana, which would be really weird. Yeah, so we're looking at heavy flooding possibilities all along the coast, and then we get the yellow in here, which is a red alert, because that could bring over 10 inches, 15 inches of flooding through just rain, not counting storm surge. And Florida's definitely getting wet out of this. And then we got a storm moving in the north central USA that will combine with the whole storm. But you can see this is definitely going to bring heavy rainfall. And this puts it 48 hours from now, still in the Gulf, pretty central. So it would definitely have a chance to develop into a hurricane category 1, category 2. You know, if it's 2020, category 3, I would guess it would even be possible, you know. All right, so this is the precipitable water loop. And this is one of the big bad boys we were watching roll off of Africa. And then this is the moisture zone we will watch trying to get its act together. Paul and Paulette, or whatever Renee and Paulette, whatever their names are. These are supposed to curve out to sea. We will continue to watch. We'll definitely be on alert for any weird 2020 surprises. But we definitely have an active situation, and we're going to be on super duper absolute high alert over the next 2 and 3 weeks. But yeah, that definitely has a look to it, bro. It definitely, and with 100 hours possible to get there, definitely a hurricane, man. It's definitely going to be a hurricane, in my opinion. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of moisture all around. All right, so I'll be here doing this while I'm awake, and I've gotten some rest. So everybody stay cool. I will do my best to keep you informed, but this is go time. The clock is ticking, and we're pretty sure we'll have multiple landfalling hurricanes in the next 2 weeks. 1 and then probably 2. Although we could get lucky and have them curve out to sea, but this one is definitely probably going to be a hurricane or tropical storm strength, do some damage, bring some flooding. So please, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, be prepared. Everybody stay cool, and I will be talking back at you in the near future. God bless everyone.